Everyone, thanks for tuning in. Neophyte Stacker. I'm back. 4 months. It's been since I made my very last video. Wow, so much has changed. I've made some progress. I've had some downfalls. I've had some setbacks. But, we wake up every day thankful and we keep it pushing, I guess. We keep moving forward. I've been away so long, but not much has changed really. I always kind of reference my last video to make sure I kind of follow up with anything that I wanted to follow up with, and not a lot has changed. Silver was, I think it's like $2 off from what it was 4 months ago. But the interesting thing is that silver is in the green now. So my last video was in January. It looks like silver was performing at negative 1.96, almost negative 2% for the year to date. I'm on Amex now, so spot price is 24.30, and year to date it's at 0.33%. So we're up 8 cents. Back in January we were negative 45 cents. I mean, that's not a big change, right? Not considering about all the hype that we've seen in the last 4 months. Man, YouTube has been on fire lately with so much FOMO, with so much scare tactics, so much hype coming into the community. And it's like, I sit back and I'm thinking, man, I hope no one just falls for all that stuff, man. I know that a lot of views um, are there on the videos of like the world's going to end, the banking is going to collapse, all of these banks are going to collapse, and that's the end of fiat. The Chinese are starting to use the yuan, and they're going to change it for the oil. The petrodollar is finally falling apart. Like, there's just so much info out there, and some of it's interesting. I was watching a video on Peter Lynch. He gave a rare interview just recently, and they talked about interest rates and bank 400 banks failing back in 2008, I believe. It's wild, man. I have to find that video. There's always something to be scared of, and that's what he kind of points out. And I'm kind of like learning, man, things are going to continue to go. It's not the end of the world. There's a lot of fear driven in the markets. I look at things and how they react to certain things. Man, it's just wild to think that so much people are just so caught up into it. And it's something that you got to learn with years of experience following the markets. And, you get better at it. It's kind of like relationships. You kind of learn yourself. You kind of learn who you are as a person. If you're selfish, if you're, if you pop off on anger, it's the same way with the markets. You got to learn how to navigate it all. If you are a person who's, not diamond-handed, weak, you sell at every bad news that comes your way. You sell because you're scared that you're gonna go broke. This is something that you just gotta work out, and you just gotta, follow the market and just relax, be confident in your purchases, and know that life's gonna continue. So again, not much has changed. The premium on the American Silver Eagle is past $20. It's at $21. The last video I made, it was at $20, which is, nuts. A $20 premium on an ounce of silver. Man, I just still don't believe it. I don't believe that it, like, Amex has it on their website as like, this is the top pick. Man, it's like, it says it's a top pick, and I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. Prior it was the Philharmonic, which was the cheapest. Now you got 3 pages of silver coins. This is sorted by low to high, and it's the Britannia coin. Now it's at 29.78, right? Which is, close to a $5 premium. Sales are still kicking. I was looking to see, so if you look at it, silver was down negative 45 in January, right? Negative 45 cents. Now it's up 8 cents. 4 months have gone by. But check this out. If you compare it to A-Mark Precious Metals, year to date, they're up $2.37 or almost 7%, right? So you were better off holding A-Mark. And if you got in at $27, you'd be killing it back in March. If you bought in at 34 at the beginning of the year and you started the dollar cost average, it got up to 40 and then it just falls apart at 30. You get it for $10 off a share and then you're back up again. So it looks like A-Mark Precious Metals is performing way better than silver. And then I was looking at SLV. I sold my marker, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that in the last video, but I bought in at a mid $16, which was a 52-week low. It was near the low. That's why I ended up buying it. But I didn't know what was going to happen, and it started trailing. I sold it at 23, I think 20. It was a low $23, like 23.23 or something like that. I can't remember. But it's up year to date. It's up 0.23%. So the silver trust that follows the physical is up barely. A-Mark is doing better. And then I was trying to compare it to the S&P 500 stock, and I believe the S&P 500 stock is pushing at 8% right now. So, I mean, this is pretty nuts. You know, if everyone says if you don't know how to pick stocks, buy an S&P 500. It's right here. Check this out. Buy an S&P ETF and just let it sit there. So year to date, we're right here at year to date right here. It was at 32.8 in January 3rd. Man, if you started dollar cost average, you got high right at 41.79, which is a little higher than what it is now. Then it trickled back down to 38.55. That's when you start to put that money in, right? When you buy something and it continues to climb, you don't put more money into it. You don't dollar cost average like they tell you to do, where they say, oh, just keep putting in money. What you do is set that money aside and set the money aside because you know it's going to tank again. And if you were setting that money aside by the time you got to 38 and it got close to 38, if you're barely at 1% or 2% positive, you can start dumping that money back in. And if it's going negative, you clearly start to dollar cost average. But this is one of the techniques that I've kind of learned. I don't like to do the $50 a week or $50 a month, whatever you're going to do, whatever amount of money you are dollar cost averaging in. I never do it when it's especially if it's plus 8%, because the S&P is supposed to give you about 8% return. So anytime you're kind of it's counterintuitive to do it if it's plus 8%. Because on average it's going to give you that. So you kind of want to put your money in when it goes negative or close to 1 or 2% at a dollar cost average basis. But that's pretty interesting. The S&P 500 is outperforming A-Mark Precious Metals business by 1%, more or less. But that's super interesting. So I haven't bought anything. I've been on the backgrounds. I've just been just chilling. I saw Chrisinsocal's video where he says, like, if you've already established your stack and silver starts to run, you don't go and continue to buy. You just sit back and relax because you're in a good spot already. And your investment, if you buy silver as an investment, not as a savings account, or not because you're trading in fiat or trying to purchase your account, whatever it is, if you buy it as an investment, kind of like I did in the beginning, that's what I normally think that silver is. It's an investment. I buy it low, and over the years it's going to go up. And I never buy it when it's high. You never, like, what I've learned is I never buy when something's trending, right? If Wall Street Silver is telling stories about how silver's going to explode, I'm far from that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in the background. Nope, you guys go ahead and buy $40, $45 American Silver Eagles. That's up to you guys. I'll stay back and I'll wait. And that's very hard to do, especially if you have a personality who's like addictive and you're just like, dude, I need to buy this because I'm going to miss out. I need to buy it, buy. You can convince yourself to buy $45 American Eagles. That's no issue. Sitting back and realizing, hey, it's just too much right now. When is the last time silver has reached $45 spot price? I mean, sit back and go back a decade and see if silver spot price ever reached $45. you'd be surprised if when someone starts to tell you in a different form, right? As opposed to you just listening to YouTube videos all day talking about silver's about to explode and you'll never find it again. It should be triple digits, blah blah blah. It's hard to kind of filter that out. But somehow I tried to do the best I can. I still buy, but things that are a little bit more like those are cool and I want to buy them, and uh, you know the premium is gonna kill me, but I really really like that, so I'll end up buying it. But very interesting. Year to date, we're 5 months in, almost half the year's gone by, and it looks like the S&P 500 is outperforming everything right now, which is uh, kind of like reassuring because I've seen a lot of videos where they interview pros and they're just like, if you don't, I mean, again, if you don't know about companies and how to read their financials and how to pick and choose and kind of like shuffle through all that stuff, you just buy an S&P 500 ETF and you just dollar cost average into it, and you just buy when it goes on sale, relax when it climbs, and at the end of the year you should turn 8% minimum at least, on average. If you do anything above that, that's excellent. So the 13F filings came out. That's why I have this one up. And this is one that I came across. It's called SLDP. Um, Very interesting. It's called Solid Power Inc. I didn't know about this company. It says Solid Power Inc. develops all solid-state battery cells for electric vehicles and mobile power markets. The company was incorporated in 2011, based in Louisville, Colorado. It's USA-based, 240 employees. You can check out the website at right here on this link. But I was looking at because these are the 13F filings that came out for the first quarter. So from January, February, March, this is what this stock did, right? This is who bought the most of this stock. So Decarbonization Plus Acquisitions sponsor the third LLC. Somehow they're related to Riverstone Holdings, because when you click on this and you go through all the filings, this is SEC filings, they're in there. 41 million shares, valued at 104 million, 100% of their portfolio, number one ranking. Then you got Ford Motor Company, their largest. So this is their second. They got 61 million in this stock alone. Their first position is, believe it or not, Rivian. Rivian has lost 80 something percent of its value. People were buying in at 130. It's trading below $16 right now, which is insane. BMW Holding, that's their number one position. They got 90 million in it. Volta Energy Technologies, 23 million, which is not. I mean, when you consider a business, there's billions of dollars that are invested in each business. This one has, several hundred million for a battery company. This is crazy. I never would have thought about it. And there's big heavy hitters in here. There's Vanguard, BlackRock, which are very small. Look at $27 million doesn't even hit 1% of their portfolio. It's 2,819 on the list of their roster. So going from 1 to 2,819 positions, that's where they're at. And they bought pretty heavy. Look at, they bought in quarter one of 2022 at $6.37. I was looking at this. This thing is at trading less than $2 right now. I think it's like $1.95 or something like that. So this looks interesting. The fact that Ford has it in their number one, they invested 61 million into it. I may get into this position. 50 shares, 100. I would like 100 shares at $2. I'm sure all of you guys can buy 1,000 shares and let it sit and see what it does. I don't think that these large companies, just buy just to guess to see where it's going to go. They don't pick and choose. They've done their homework. They understand it all. And there's a reason why out of the top 5, they're number one spots. So that's very interesting. That one was kind of branched out just because of the $2 mark, right? You can buy multiples of that if it moves. Say if you bought 100 shares and it moves $1, you made $100. And that's that's $200 for 100 shares. I mean, how many ounces of silver can you get with $200? 6. um, 4 if you get 4, or 5 if you get American Silver Eagles. But wild. Anyways, the cheapest coin now is the Britannia with King Charles on the back, $29.78. Again, we've never hit $29 on the spot price this year, so that's kind of my thinking. I don't know. You guys can comment below if you think I'm an idiot, but that's pretty much it. That's the recap for 4 months of things going by. The S&P is outperforming everything else. Then it's A-Mark Precious Metals, who's the gigantic bullion dealer, and then at the bottom of the list is actual silver with up 0.33%. So this is wild. And I know it's not to hate on silver. I love silver. I love buying silver, but it's just not in its good times right now. I feel like silver is at the point where it's gained, it's got momentum. The crowd came in, meaning the public. They bought at high premiums, driving up that the business of bullion. Right, they're up 7%. They're the ones who are profiting the most. Get that, like they're making more money selling it than they are buying it. So and holding it. And everything is hedged. Everything is completely hedged. They've said that numerous times in interviews. So moving forward, I think it's a good spot to just stop buying it. But plenty of people out there with money. They're gonna do what they ultimately want to do because that's their right. And I just kind of wanted to share my opinion moving forward. Anything else that I kind of wanted to cover was my finances. Man, my finances they're going up, they're going down. I pay off a lot, then something happens and I get back, I feel like I move 2 steps forward and 5 steps back, and then, back 7 steps and then back 3. It's man, it's just so it's like so trying to get out of debt, man. So if you are a younger person or even an older person and you're still in debt, man, I'm there right with you. Just keep pushing it, keep digging yourself out. Obviously we need a large shovel to, not a large shovel, but actually you do. You need a damn wheelbarrow to fill up your hole, and you need to stop digging. So that's what I've been doing moving forward, and I'm just kind of like hoping that maybe the end of the year I can really put into my investments. I looked into the Roth IRAs. It sucks because you can't do a Roth IRA with precious metals unless you go with that person, and then that person charges a fee, and it's not worth it. It would be one thing if you can buy silver on your own and then put it into your Roth account with like a bank, the bank that you bank with, and they accept it, they test it, but they don't do that. You have to find a third party like Atmex who can run a Roth IRA, who has the permission to do it. But the fees to hold it, the fees to service it, they just kill any of the gain that you can potentially have, and you're pretty much paying like a storage. Every month you have to pay for a storage. You put your stuff in, and that money is just being taken for the space, and that's not what it is. To me, it's better to put allocate money into stocks or something else that will appreciate or provide a dividend for you. So, all right. Hope everyone has a great weekend, a great month, a great work week. Happy blessings, happy stacking.